Using online discussions can be such a powerful tool, whether you're teaching in a face-to-face environment, blended environment, or purely an online course. There have been numerous articles and research and studies published on the benefits of using online discussion boards to enhance learning. I'm just going to scroll through one article here, and it just shows some of the key advantages. Builds connections in classroom community, contributes to the development of cognitive critical thinking and writing skills, allows time for thoughtful, in-depth reflection on course topics. I think that one's so key because some students process slower or faster, and an online discussion board allows them to process at their own pace. Empowers students to express themselves. I think we've all seen that shy student in the face-to-face classroom maybe has this amazing voice online, and it's great to give those students opportunities to express themselves. Then here it just lists some best practices to first establish and communicate discussion board ground rules for your classroom. So maybe have some rules of etiquette, determine and communicate how you will evaluate students' participation, encourage your students by asking good questions to get that discussion really going. And so if you're interested in looking more at this article, I'll leave that link for you to look at. So now let's jump to Zaption and see how we can create a discussion right within our video tour. So for example, if we bring in this TED-Ed video about why do we sleep and the benefits of a good night's sleep, a discussion might be very appropriate for this type of video. Say for instance, midway through, I want to add in a discussion on the side that will show up side by side, so I can be watching the video and replying to this discussion post. You can see that viewers' comments will appear, and it will be time-stamped and threaded in this discussion here so that they can create a post and then they can reply to somebody else who's posted. If you click on the element settings, for example, I might not want this whole discussion to run through till the end of the video. That's how it's set up right now. Say that I only want about 1.5 minutes for them to reply, so that would be 90 seconds. I can put it there, and as soon as I press done, you can see that it only lasts for this duration of the video. And I can also use this hiding feature, so I can hide comments from users until a certain date. So say that I want everybody to create their original post by Saturday, and then they have to go back and reply to somebody else in their class on Sunday, for example. I can do that. I can also leave these timestamps either shown or I can hide them. I like to have the timestamps so that I can see the progression of the discussion. So I'm going to just press done there, and I'm going to publish this tour so that we can see what it looks like. So now I'm going to go ahead and just start this tour. So I'm just going to go in theater mode here. The student was starting to watch a video, and then they get around to this point here. You can see that I can start to comment on what I feel. So you can see that as soon as I start writing my response, it does pause the video automatically so that I can focus on the response that I'm writing and the video won't be playing in the background. When I'm done typing, I just press post and the video resumes playing. I have the ability to delete if I wanted to change that post, and I can also reply if I wanted to reply to somebody else. I'm going to go ahead and sign in as another person so that we can see what this threaded discussion looks like. So again, I'm going to skip to the portion of the video where that discussion post comes along. And this time, as soon as this question pops up, I can see the one response that has already been made. I can choose to reply to this post, and again, it pauses my video immediately. So I can go ahead and reply, and I can also make my own comment. So at this point, I want to bring you back to my original viewer, which was myself, Stacey Roshan, and you can see that person 2 responses have populated now since they responded. And so something else that's pretty cool is if I wanted to see where this person 2 responded and said, based on this video, I can just click on the timestamp And look, it automatically brought me to the point in the video where that person responded, so I can see what they were watching when they made that response, and I can reply accordingly. At this point, I want to show you what the analytics look like from the teacher end. So if I go ahead and I click on my person 2, for instance, I can see that they did this discussion question and they made 1 comment and left 1 reply. And then if I go to view users comments and replies, so if I click on that, it brings me to this screen that looks a lot like a short answer response type screen where I get the whole word cloud and all those analytics. And I can also see where comments were made over time in the video, which is a pretty neat view. And then I get this nice little threaded discussion right here that I can look at. Again, if I click on the timestamp, it brings me to that point in the video, so I, as the teacher, can see where that student was making that response. So if I click here, it brings me to 2:43 exactly. If I click here, it brings me to 2:44 exactly. Right now I have it filtered by just person 2's responses because that was the person I had gone in and looked for, but I can also just look at the whole transcript as a whole by turning that filter off. So I hope that this video helps you think of some ways that you can use some discussions in your classroom using Zaption.